Dutch Olympic archer Chef van den Berg. But before we get to Chef, it's time to meet the athletes.
On target number 1, representing the Republic of Korea, An-san. On target number 2, representing Chinese Taipei, Xu Yixi. The line judge for this matchup is Friedrich Kauer. Well, here it is, our very first matchup.
Well, Chef, welcome. Korea versus Chinese Taipei. They've already met in a gold medal match this season in Shanghai. Korea won that one 6-0. You've got to favour the Koreans, haven't you, for this one?
Yeah, you kind of do, statistically speaking, but you know, the whole week has been a very high-scoring competition, so it'll be interesting to see if Taipei can keep that up and challenge Korea for the title here.
Special moment for the athletes, special moment for everybody involved in the competition. The first time a Hyundai Archery World Cup stage has been used as the official test event for the Olympic Games. A unique opportunity, or at least a very rare one, for the few athletes that get a chance to shoot on this range, because this is as close as it gets to what it's going to be like at the Olympic Games in Paris. Korea will get things underway for the Recurve women's team gold medal match.
Yeah, and these first arrows in the team round especially are just going to be important to see if there's anything you should do to adjust your sight setting or your shooting, or if there's anything different to the practice field. And you'll see that the team members will communicate with each other as well, where the arrows are landing and if that seemed logical to them, or if maybe there should be some adjustment.
Lim Sion making that adjustment straight away. Chu Yuqing starts for Chinese Taipei with a 9.
Yeah, and what we've seen, well, over the past couple of years, but also this season, is that if a team like Korea shoots a 26 to start off with, which is not the highest score ever, this is the moment for Taipei to capitalize on that.
Yeah, can't get off to a bad start against the Koreans. Peng Chimao looks like she may well have clipped the line for the 10 there. Koreans going through a little bit of a sort of fist-bumping ritual by the looks of things.
Yeah, I don't know if they were playing a little game in between, or if it was something that they, like somewhat of a routine that they've developed, but it was funny to see in the background of that previous shot.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Kang Chae-young. Nice little group forming at the top there.
Yeah, and the stadium announcer confidently says 9, but I think they're probably going to have a closer look at that, because with the shadow cast by the other arrows, it's difficult to see.
9.
So this is an opportunity for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they will have to shoot a 10 and a 9, I believe, to get this set if the arrow in the first rotation gets upgraded to a 10. So it's not an easy job, but it is very possible.
是，意思可以啊。好，一起一样专心哈，可以的，相信自己哈。是。
Well, now the measure becomes very important on both of the arrows. One for Korea, arrow number 5, and that third arrow for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, so Chinese Taipei will not lose this set, we know that much, but the question is, will they win this set and get the 2 set points awarded? Because if the team of Korea gets upgraded their arrow and the arrow for Chinese Taipei gets downgraded to a 9, we're going to have a tight set.
And by the end of it, the first team to attain 5 set points will win the match. So we're going to look down range here. We see there are 2 asterisks alongside some of the arrow values, which means there were 2.
Both teams are looking fairly relaxed, fairly comfortable.
Yeah, and both the countries have a very professional domestic archery circuit as well, so they must be used to these kind of finals venues and shooting at such a high level. I think that's kind of what gives these 2 countries a little bit of an edge over some of the other competitors, because they have that professionalism on their domestic circuit. They don't have to travel the world to gain experience on a finals venue like this.
Perhaps even more so for the Korean team, because they simulate almost exactly the conditions. I believe they did it for Berlin at the World Championships. They certainly did it for the Tokyo Olympic Games. They built a replica Olympic stadium, an Olympic range.
Yeah, and you can bet money on it that they will for the Paris venue as well, if they haven't already. The good thing is they probably have seen the drawings and they know the exact dimensions of everything, and they have, you know, the financial possibility to do so, to build that.
Well, the update there is that both arrows did get marked up, one for Korea, one for Chinese Taipei, and it means that Chinese Taipei have taken the first set and lead 2-0.
So already it's not going to be a repeat of that previous final where Korea beat Chinese Taipei with 6-0.
Let's not write the Koreans off just yet, though, hey?
No. But it does give Chinese Taipei a little bit of a, you know, a confidence boost. They know that they can get points against the Korean team, and yeah, hopefully they can keep this going and make this a very exciting match to watch. This is why it was so important for Taipei to capitalize on that first end of Korea, where they needed to, you know, get their sight settings right and get into the match a little bit. Because there's a very good likelihood that the Korean team won't shoot that many bad arrows anymore.
Chinese Taipei ahead in the race, though.
I mean, purely technically speaking, they at this point on tie every set and walk away with the match win.
So we come back through the second rotation for the Koreans. And if you tuning into archery for the first time, the teams work in a set system. Recurve archery is based on a set system, so each set is self-contained. If you win the set, you get 2 set points. Draw it, you get 1. And the target both teams are going after for this gold medal is 5 set points.
9, possible 10, too close to call.
It's always interesting to see how casual the Korean team is communicating with each other. It's almost as if this is just another practice round for them. Even though obviously they're not leading the match, they're actually trailing in this case. It doesn't seem like they're very stressed about it. It just seems like they're doing their normal routine, and they almost approach this as if it's a practice session.
这时候的方向清楚。
Got to give it to Chinese Taipei. They're the first team to take any set points off Korea in the competition. Korea came through Denmark, Spain and Mexico, winning every single match 6-0.
专心哦，哦，方向直来，节奏做好就好哦。这样，12点。
So we're again gonna have to wait for the target judge to confirm one of those arrows. I think it has a very good chance of hitting the 10, but obviously the target judge will have a much better view than we do.
But for sure the quality has gone up. That first set, a bit of a sighter for both teams. Chinese Taipei just edging that one to get 2 set points ahead. But again, as Chef says, we have another measure. And while they go through this measure, Chef, let's just go back to this one-off. It's the first time this has ever happened that a Hyundai Archery World Cup stage is being used as a test event for the Olympic Games. And I know you've done a couple of Olympics, you've been to a couple of test events, but the difference here is that there's a crowd and the event itself has something riding on it.
Yeah, although looking back at the test event in Rio de Janeiro, we had a crowd as well. There were people there cheering on, and so that was, I feel like the one in Rio was more, it was closer to the real thing than the one in Tokyo, for instance. That was mostly because in Tokyo they built the whole stands, housing I think 5,600 people potentially, but didn't actually go through. But at the test event there were no stands, so we didn't have that real experience. Obviously in Rio we were shooting in the Sambodromo, and you know the concrete themselves are the stands, so it looked like the real thing.
Well, this being for a World Cup stage win just has that little added element. Korea, having that arrow marked up in the second set, have leveled up on score as An San begins set number 3.
Quite a long hold for Kang Chae-young there, longer than what we're used to seeing from her at least. And Lim Si-jun unfazed by the insect that was flying around her face when she was at full draw. Again, in the background, the Korean team, it's almost as if they're having a little thumb wrestling match in the background.
Well, a troublesome 8 in those that first rotation for Chinese Taipei. You don't want to shoot an 8 at any time, but when you're up against Korea, well, it usually means it's curtains for the set.
Yeah, and the thing in this situation is that Korea can just put this set out of reach, and then the team of Chinese Taipei will have 3 arrows to, you know, get back into their rhythm, but they know that those 3 arrows are not going to matter if Korea manages to shoot a 10 in the next arrow.
All on the shoulders of the newbie to the team, Lim Seon. Puts it right in the middle of the target, and that means the set points will go to the Korean team and they will take the lead. Like you say, Chinese Taipei will still shoot these 3 arrows. They're going to kind of put the set out of their mind, haven't they, and just rehearse for set number 4.
Yeah, and maybe that's the reason that this arrow goes into the 8 ring, because it kind of misses that, little bit of pressure to perform well in the second rotation. But you can really use these arrows to gauge the circumstances, gauge what you need to do to hit the middle. What happens if you just shoot a relaxed shot without any pressure? Where does it hit? So you can adjust your sight to that, or you can adjust your shooting. So it's kind of like almost like a little practice and like half a practice set.
193.
Is there going to be an element of concern here for Chinese Taipei, even if they were sort of just going through the motions, rehearsing, perhaps, like you say, shooting a few relaxed shots? They're not 110 in that set for Chinese Taipei.
Well, I think 2 of the 3 archers adjusted their sight, and the first archer just kind of shrugged it off, like, okay, that makes sense, that one went into the 8 ring. So I don't think they're too worried, although obviously you know that if you're trailing against the Korean team, you need to have a very, very good set to get back into the match. But that's the case regardless of what part of the match you're in.
And we're back in that situation now where Chinese Taipei trailing will shoot first, the opportunity to pile the pressure on the Koreans, but the Koreans know exactly what they have to shoot. They just need to match Chinese Taipei now to take the gold medal.
Yeah, exactly. The Korean team now has 4 set points to the 2 set points that Chinese Taipei has, and 5 set points will get you the win in a match like this. So all Chinese Taipei can do here is win the set, and then, well, they have to win the shoot-off as well if they want to have this set or a match win. Sorry.
Both teams, of course, not only getting this fantastic opportunity to shoot on the range that will be used for the Olympic Games, but also looking ahead to the Asian Games coming up in Hangzhou in China next month. So Chinese Taipei in a bind here. They do need to put down some big scores to put some pressure on Korea. And Chu Yiqing starts with a 9.
A little bit of a, I want to say, slow release, like wasn't so powerful or explosive as we saw in the rest of the match from her, but that does give Korea quite a big door to walk through, I would say.
By their incredibly high standards, Korea have had a tricky season, let's call it. I don't want to call it a bad season, but not, they're not regularly getting golds as we've got used to.
No, and I think this tournament they've so far showed that they're still very much a team that you should, well, I wouldn't say be afraid of, but a team that you should be wary of, maybe.
Focused and driven to beat. You need to be absolutely 100% in the match from the beginning against Korea. And looks like they are back to their very best. In fact, we are going to see all the gold medal matches competed here in this team session between Korea and Chinese Taipei. Things unraveling here for Chinese Taipei and Chu Yiqing.
Yeah, and at this point, for the Taipei team, you kind of know that even if you were to shoot 2 10s, the chance of Korea shooting another 28 to then get the match win is very likely. So all you can do at this point is shoot 2 10s and hope for the best.
8 or 9.
Well, a measured arrow for a 53. Let's be optimistic for Chinese Taipei and say that's a 54. 28 will be more than enough in the second rotation for Korea. Kang Chae-young just taking a little bit of time there.
Yeah, typically speaking, they have plenty of time because they're fairly quick shooters, all of them. So as you can see on the clock, they have 26 seconds left now. And if you would divide the time in 6, you would have 20 seconds per arrow. So they're quicker than what they need to be.
This is for the win. Into the 10, and after going 2 set points behind, Korea have come out on top in the Recurve women's team gold medal match over Chinese Taipei. And Ansan, Kang Chae-young and Lim Seon will be on top of the podium very shortly. It was a great start from Chinese Taipei. The trio of Chu Yiqing, Lei Chen-ying and Peng Chao-mei got off to a good start, but then fell behind. Too many 8s against the Koreans. And certainly, you can say the Korean women are back on top. So confirmation there that Ansan, Kang Chae-young and Lim Seon have taken gold here in Paris. It's silver for Chu, Li and Peng from Chinese Taipei. 1 out of 1 so far for Korea in the gold medal matches here in the team competition on Recurve Sunday in Paris. 2 more golds to go for this final stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Well, we can see what it means to the 3 Koreans here. They've got a real bond, and given the fact that Choi Mi-sun is no longer in this group certainly at the moment Lim Seon's come in, what about that camaraderie between the 3 Korean ladies?
Yeah, I think they probably shoot together every day or close to every day, hang out together outside of shooting probably. Well, you can see it was almost as if they were also savoring the moment again and saying like, look at us, we're back.